Alright, we're gonna go over it today. I got my headphones hanging over my earbuds hanging over my screen. This audio should be better because I'm talking right into the mic when I look at the screen. And I got my AC off. Alright, so it's Fomc. So we all know that Fomc is the most impactful news of the month. And so trading the afternoon is very risky. Trading the FOMC in general, you could just skip because volatility. But today we actually had Trump speaking at 9:30. No telling if he actually spoke at 9:30 or if he spoke at 10 o'clock. We had 8:30 core retail brought some liquidity into the market for 9:30, and then of course FOMC. So let's just go look at the chart. So we know on the daily, as you can see, the daily we're bullish. Alright, so we closed bullish on the daily. Let's go ahead and just add that in here. So, but we have that big ass gap it's going to be reaching for. So you know what? Daily, we're bullish. Bullish with huge weekly open gap. Odds are we're going to want to come and fill some of that gap, which today we drew into that gap. Let's go ahead and let's just set this up for potential draws on the daily. Really, I could do it from this wick, I'm pretty sure, up until this wick. But maybe I'll do that. That's a fair value gap versus a void. This is gap, or I'm just talking shit. Switch over to a 4. So we were big bullish. Even yesterday, I would have thought that we were bullish on the 4-hour, but we had this SMT. Now, this doesn't have anything to do with this, but first we had this SMT, which is our first sign of bearish sentiment. So yesterday, I was looking for longs because we closed over this, but really with the SMT, you can't ignore the SMT. So with the SMT, that's a sign that the markets want to turn around. So we got the SMT, and then after the SMT, what else did we get? We got a clear breaker structure, the downside. So then we're officially big bearish. So then when we're officially big bearish, we should only be looking for shorts today. And so we know that we're bearish, we're looking for shorts. We're what's it called? Switch over to the hourly. I actually had some relatively clean shorts to be taken today, I'm not even gonna lie to you. So we have this up close candle right here. It was only not until that up close candle got swept is that we probably could have been looking for shorts. Now the first short I took was at a consolidation, and I know not to take any 5-minute breaker structure at a consolidation. I'm just because I was lacking this morning. I took this demo. I lost all my money betting on the Taporia fight on Sunday. So alright, so let's say it was 9:30. It's 9:30 right here. Alright, I see we get a break to the downside, but then it comes up and it sweeps the high. Same over here. I see we get a break to the downside, but then it comes over and it sweeps the high. So for one, it's 9:35. It's 9:30 right here. This is all consolidating. This is just a breaker structure out of consolidation. There ain't nothing that really is saying, hey, trade me, yo. So why would you take this first 5-minute breaker structure when it's just coming out of mad consolidation? Alright, so I shouldn't have taken any 5-minute break out of structure out of consolidation. Then we came down here, we swept the lows. Then we came back up here and we swept these highs. I think we had an SMT once again up here. So let's pull this tool over. Let's see if we had an SMT. Cap. Basically, yeah, no SMT. So, alright. So we're nowhere bearish because we closed bearish. So we gotta have directional draws somewhere. We know that we closed bearish on the 1 hour too. So we're probably gonna be drawing into these PM lows right here. I don't know if we took these out already. We might have already took those out. We didn't take them out in Q though, so that could have been better for draws over here. Yeah. So basically, we knew that we were bearish because the 4 hour said we were bearish. We had some Fomc shit, news and stuff, all the noise, but we still didn't take out this external range for NQ. We already kind of took out this external range. We even came back up into this hour, up into this up close. Probably could have got a very nice move off of here, to be real. But whatever. So there's 2 moves you could have took bearish today. Definitely did not need to lose any money though. Alright, the first one, after we came up and we swept, this is an up close candle too. The high of this 544.25 and the high of this candle is 544.75. So 0.75 is a little bit over 0.44, so yeah, we definitely swept that. Zoom in just so you can see it's poking its head up. So after we tapped into that, that is where we can start looking, because that's coming off of an hour order block, yo. Once we tap into a up close candle like that, we're sweeping enough liquidity to continue lower. So this 5-minute breaker structure is kind of rough though. Doesn't really have to be took. You don't gotta make any moves, yo. We pull back into equilibrium, boom. Could have shorted this to the external range. Yeah, you could have. Really could have. You see when this FOMC news came in at 2 o'clock though? Boom, that shit shot straight to the external range, which is right here. So the best move would probably be an NQ because it didn't take out its external range yet. And probably honestly just like a 1-to-1 something, because now we get this break. Let's say you want to enter at OTE, or yeah, let's say you want to enter at OTE. Keeping it simple. Or maybe even a fair value gap. Let's just say OTE. 5-minute breaker structure. So I would have just left this all alone, because all of this consolidation right here, I would have just left all that alone. But this is how the markets were expressing themselves, and I want to make sure I have it understood, that it was not just some chaos, that it was an algorithm that was performing itself, rebalancing and balancing, this, that, and the third. So boom, I would have took it to this fib level, and if there was an institutional level close to that fib level, I would have took it there. We got the 50s right here. So this would have been my trade if I had someone put a gun up to my head and said, you could take one trade or I'm going to kill you. This would be it today. But I wouldn't have took it if there was no gun up to my head, because it's just kind of super choppy. This is a 5-minute breaker structure though. Right here, it's a step down. I call it a step down. It's a 5-minute break right after a sweeping OT. And honestly, this is all still in that consolidation realm. I would have just left all of this alone. My first mistake was really taking this 5-minute breaker structure, because I thought that this was like OTE, 5-minute breaker structure, but really that's 9:30 that's happening. And yeah, it just wasn't all that. But 4-hour bias was correct, hourly bias was correct, 5-minute bias was correct. All of everything in the draws and liquidity on everything that should have gone down went down, but it was not a day for me, because we had 8:30 news, we had Trump speaking at 9:30, which was right when the market opens, which means we got to depend on him actually being on time for the news when all the liquidity is coming into the market. And then 2 o'clock is when all the draws got hit for the day. Everything was pretty much in consolidation until the FOMC release. So yeah, that's how I would have traded this morning, but yeah, it's pretty choppy overall. It's better to just sit on your hands, go outside, read a book, or do some yoga.